TNE Inspire podcast, a lifestyle podcast for inside tips on living your best life as a person of color in America.
You are listening to TNE Inspire episode 3. This episode of TNE Inspired is brought to you by our title sponsor, Homebrew Bar, where every cup feels like you're welcome home. Homebrew Bar offers over 10 different types of teas that you can order with or without boba, as well as 2 different types of coffee. Homebrew Bar specializes in cold brew teas and coffees with unique signature drinks, such as their dirty milk tea with coconut and their cold brew coffee with pistachios and taro vanilla whipped cream, which honestly is my personal favorite. If you're ever in the Pasadena, California area, make sure you stop by their location at 39 North Arrows Parkway, Pasadena, California, 91103, and just let them know TNE Inspire podcast sent you.
Welcome to TNE TV. It's your girl, Chrishta de la Fresh, and this is the Couture Life. On today's episode of TNE Inspire, we have a sit-down interview with DL, the Master Barber. Let's get it.
Welcome to TNE Inspire podcast. Each week at 10 a.m. on Fridays, you can look forward to TNE Magazine, which is the best digital multicultural lifestyle magazine for people of color, to have their hosts and guests take you behind the scenes of what inspires today's influencers and industry elites of color in the departments of fashion, beauty, style, entertainment, food, health and wellness, culture, and politics. In these conversations, they share what helps their guests to engage, persuade, and grow their unique brand. TNE's mission is to share exclusive insider tips, wisdoms, and action-based tools to help you be the best minority in America. Now, if you're not a minority, please still feel free to listen, because we want you to have a better understanding of how minorities in this country stay true to their culture while achieving the American dream. So sit back and enjoy TNE Inspire podcast.
What's happening? This is DL Master Barber, man. I'm with TNE TV. Let me tell you something. This is amazing show. Y'all got to get it. I'm up here with the Couture Life of Chrishta de la Fresh. Let me tell you, we had an amazing time. Look, if you're ready to change your life, if you're ready to do something different in 2018 that you wasn't doing in 2017, you gotta watch this cast. You gotta watch this show. I'm telling you, Chrishta did her thing. I definitely did my thing. And TNA is gonna be constantly continuing to bring you some fresh stuff, some fresh thoughts, some fresh minds. So continue to watch this show. I'm DL Master Barber.
Okay, let's switch it up, because he just gave y'all a lot of free game. And I mean, if you want to read some more about that, he's got books out.
Yeah.
We'll let him get to that later, but I mean, he's giving y'all free game. I don't think y'all appreciate that. Now, like a good edger, what is the importance of having a tailored suit? And let's talk about some of the looks you got going on.
Well, everybody, first of all, it has to be a mindset, okay? And what that means is that some people cool with clothes just hanging on them. You know, you like a hanger. I'm not cool with that. I like my suits to fit my body type, period, point blank. I think that if we're gonna, if you're depending on the type of work that you're doing, I think that a lot of people now are so casual that they are working their way out of making $100,000, $200,000 a year. And what I mean by that is this. Sometimes we don't appreciate the value that's inside of us. And so we're so casual to take our casual lifestyle to work. Now, somebody's really ready to hire you and give you a better job. But I really can't trust this person if I was to send them to Paris, is because I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to represent the company right. I don't know if they're going to hold back and not drink too much, and then I got to hear about it later. I don't know if they're going to dress the part, you know. So all of these things, and a lot of times if you're not trained that way, you're just expected to be that way. But the problem is with your expectation, you could possibly be losing a good job, because it would take you so long to figure it out. as opposed to starting at the top first and working your way down. And so I just think a great fitted suit, even if you don't have the money, could really help you a lot. Now, some people, I ain't wearing no secondhand suit. You don't know nothing about wearing a secondhand suit until you've been in a secondhand suit that's been tailor-made and tailor-fit to you. Now, people can say, man, he look good in that suit. This is secondhand. This is $30 head to toe. Now, the pants was all the way down to the ground. I had them cut this way. So all I'm saying is, but this is a $30 suit.
And I would have never guessed that.
Okay, but it's $30. Okay, so I buy different things from different places, so I can show you a few things if you like.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to see what you got. All right.
Now, excuse the wrinkles. Now, this is fresh out the second hand right here. Okay, but what I want you to do is look at this. This is a wool tweed jacket. Okay, it's much bigger for me. It's too big for me. Okay. And then I want you to look at the material inside. You know, nice material, nice lining. You know, you can see it's custom from a suit store.
Right.
Okay, but the thing is because this is a lot of material, my tailor can come in and cut this up and fit it specifically for me because I have the material.
Right.
Yes? The thing about this is you have to understand, it's about, when you look at suits and you're talking about suits and you're talking about fashion, you're talking about clothes, you got to understand something. It's about the size, the fit, the right size. And I'm not talking about whether a person's big or a person's small, it's the size. That means you got to get it fit to your size. A lot of people just let it jump on. I'm a 34, so since you're a 34, you're going to wear a belt, but in reality, you're 32. Okay, and I'm not saying you got to wear tight pants. What I'm saying is get clothes that fit, no matter what your size is.
So some more what you got.
Okay, so now you have another one.
Okay.
So you have two things here. Now this one here is very nice because
texture,
look at the color.
Yeah.
Look at the color on this.
It's gorgeous.
Okay, so this is another tweed blend wool.
Tweed blend.
Right? It's got white in it. It's got blue. It's got a little bit of a tan of brown. But the thing is I could wear this with some knickers. These are knickers.
Okay.
Linen, or I can come back and wear them with an all white linen pants, and then come with some brown shoes and beat them in the head with it, right? So they don't want this, but again, look at the way, the craftsmanship. You see what I'm saying? And this jacket only cost me $6 at the Salvation Army.
See.
But again, it's about how I'm talking
y'all.
about balling on a budget.
Yes.
So it just depends on how you want to do things, but you can outshop yourself. When I go shopping, I try to tell people, bring a specific amount of money. That, like, for example, if you go to the Rose Bowl, you bring a specific amount that you want to spend, and don't bring no more. Because there's always something for you there.
Right.
And if there's always something for you there, then you can lose your money if you bring your whole wad. Don't do that. If you're going to bring some extra, just in case I might see something that might be a little bit more pricey, put that in the car, leave that in the car. Okay? Make sure that you put that money in a specific place. Don't have your money in all these different pockets. Because you keep pulling your money out, constantly keep pulling your money out, you'll end up losing some of that money. Okay, I'm very big.
Pieces here. Okay.
I'm very big on military clothes. Back in the 40s, 30s, 40s, and 50s.
Now, why is that?
And the reason why is because military clothes are very thick. Feel how thick these pants are.
Oh.
They're very, very thick. Very, very thick wool. You know, and so, you know, and you can always tell military clothes because they have
the imprint, right?
The imprints, right? But then, also, I always match things. Like, for example, these are knickers like the pants that I'm wearing now. I had them cut. And then I went to the 99-cent store, and I bought me a tie. And I was like, ooh, that's going to match something. So here we go.
That's high.
Right? And this was only 99 cents. But it matches it to a T. So then I'll come through and bust them in the head with a nice little vest, tan vest somewhere in this color family here, lighter, and then give them some brown boots, and I'm killing it. But again, it just depends on what you want to do and how you want to do it. You know what I mean? So people think a lot of my stuff is high value and some crazy designer. I'm doing this all myself on a budget. These pants only cost me $12. But where you gonna find some wool pants this? And some people like, man, they don't get that cold in Cali. We're going outside at nighttime to see what you come up with.
No, it's definitely fall.
Okay, so here's another tweed blend.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm rocking tweed, because this is winter stuff. This is stuff for the winter. So this you can actually wear with jeans. All of the jackets that I showed you, so big on lids, okay? So this one is a custom made. This is a very custom made. This is my boy John. He makes all my custom hats for me, right? So there's custom hats that I have custom made, and then I have hats that I buy in different second hands.
Okay.
You know, like this was only $16. But you know, nothing you can't do with clean. I mean, it's so easy to clean, but it depends on how you rock it. You know, a lot of people wear baseball hats. I don't wear baseball hats, so that's not my thing. Here's another one. But if you look on the inside of these hats, it's all silk. You know, these are very pricey hats.
Oh, wow.
They're very expensive. They might cost you $80 to $150, you know, depending on where you get them. But if you go to the second hand, same here. But if you go to the second hand or you go to Rose Bowl swap meet, some of these people are just selling in weight. That's how they sell their clothes. They sell it in weight. They don't care what it is. They're selling they buy by weight and then they just sell it off. So they don't really care if this is a high priced item. They just want to sell it more than what they got it for.
Some phenomenal examples of balling on a. I was gonna ask you what that meant. I don't even think I need to know anymore. You're balling on a budget.
Yeah, you gotta ball on a budget. You know what I mean? And the reason why is because for me, some of the fashions that I pretty much like borrow from. I wouldn't call it stealing, but you know I'm old school, so I like the Fred Astaire's and the Cary Grants. I mean, and the material and the Desi Arnaz. You know, guys like that. It's just. They had this swag about them. They had this fashion, and even with my cars, I'm the same way. I mean, I have a 22 car collection, so you know, and they're all classics. And so I'm really big on how I dress and what car I'm driving when I'm dressing, right? And so most of my cars are in the 50s and 60s, and they're all showroom. So it's like, you know, so you might see me jump out of you know, a 1939 Ford, you know, and it's showroom quality, but I'm dressed this way. But then you might see me in my 60s clothes and I'm in a 1960 Corvette. You know, so it just depends. So people is like, well, then they ask me what I do, and they're like, what do you do? And I say, well, you know, I'm a barber. You're a barber? Yeah, I'm a barber. No, I don't sell weed. No, I don't sell dope.
Or DVDs.
No, you know, because a lot of times, and it's sad because, you know, the funny thing is that, and this is the funny thing about white people. Let me tell you something about white people. This is the thing that gets me about them. So, you know, because I fly first class a lot, and, you know, and I dress however I'm dressing, and they'll say, and we'll get in the conversation with whoever I'm speaking or sitting next to, and then they'll say, you know, no disrespect, but you speak so well.
I already knew that was coming.
You know, and it blows me away that they do that, and I'm like, well, what are we supposed to say?
Right.
And I do get it. I mean, I've heard people have conversations with me, and then I check them on it. Or they'll say, man, Dio, you know, I'm trying to do this, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, man, I'm putting it down, you know what I'm saying? No, I don't know what you're saying, because I didn't heard nothing you said. You have not said one thing. So I get it. But understand something, don't block us all in there and figure like, you know, and then they say, oh, well, it's just funny that you're a barber. I said, well, I'm also a best-selling author, too.
Bam. So,
you know, there is some intellectuals here, and I used to hear it a lot when Obama was becoming president. They said, well, he speaks so well. Well, the guy is educated. He graduated from Harvard.
Right.
So, you know, a lot of times we still have this racial thing going on. And even with the racial thing going on, it causes me to dress a certain way as well.
Right.
You know, that's a part of my fashion too. You know what I mean? Because certain things that they do, and certain things like Black Lives Matter, these things, everything matters to me. Not just black, everything matters to me. My financial background, being able to take care of my mama, being secure. And I learned a lot of these things from watching movies. I learned this watching Cary Grant do his thing. Cary Grant was this, he had this swag about him, you know, and what people don't know behind scenes is that Cary Grant went to classes for this, training him how to walk, training him how to put his tie on, training him how to be a good man of service. These were things that he wasn't just acting. It trained him to be a certain way in public. And so for me, I had to learn how to sit up straight. I had to learn to look at a person in their eyes when I talk to them instead of looking on the ground. These are things that I had to learn in order for me to become a businessman. There's an old saying that says this: well, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. And so for me, it's about being educated. For me, it's about reading books that I want to read in order for me to get to the next level of success, whether it be fashion, whether it be success. A lot of times I don't understand why so many people want success. We have so many books of people who showed you how they did it, but yet still we won't read those books. But yet still you have time to watch sports 4 hours out the day. You have time to watch what Kim got going on and going shopping, and she got the money to do it, and you don't. So for me, I don't want to be distracted by things that are television telling me a vision of something that I should be when God gave me something else better to be. So for me, fashion, hair, all of this is a part of what I do. I am a servant to the people. It's my job is to serve.
Okay, Clark Kent, I see you done switched up.
Yeah, jumped in the phone booth real quick. You know, you have to do that sometimes. You know, you're a superhero. See, you get that superhero bracelet on. You got one of these, that means you got a license to change.
I feel that. Let's talk about, like, okay, we were talking about earlier, I know it's kind of off camera, so y'all didn't know, but, you know, we're talking about women having their to-go bags ready.
Mm-hmm.
For you, not just as a man, but as somebody who puts fashion high up, you know, what 3 things do you always carry with you? I'm talking about items of clothing or accessories.
3?
Yeah. What 3 things do you always have with you? Maybe ready in your trunk?
3?
3.
Is it just 3 of one thing or 3 things?
3 things.
A suit.
Okay.
Number 1. Always a suit. Ready to go.
A tailored
At a minute's notice. Always a suit. My clipper kit.
Okay.
Never know who you might have to cut. Sometimes I cut homeless people. You just never know. And a toothbrush and deodorant. That's all one.
In a pack.
In a pack. Girls need the night bag. I need my kit. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I was on the plane the other day, and I had to speak as soon as I got off the plane. Now, mind you, this is a brand new, fresh tailored suit. This ain't no secondhand stuff. And I felt some weight on me. I'm asleep. I feel some weight on me, and this guy spilled a whole thing of yogurt on my suit. Don't even wake me up to say nothing. So I know I ain't had no yogurt. So it's just me and you. So, you know, what do you do in a situation like that? You know what I mean? But luckily for me, I got another suit on ready. And I was only there for the day. I flew all the way to, where did I go? Was I in Chicago, I think it was? It don't matter, it was far. And I wasn't, you know, luckily I was ready. You know, so, you know, there's old saying in the hood, you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready.
I knew that.
You know, that's that sugar, you know, that's that DJ Quick and that sugar free. So, you know, for me, I just stay ready at all times. But then again, go back to my mom. She always taught me to be ready at all times. So, you know, if in any event of something like that happening, I'm still ready to go. I'm still not late to my event, you know, and I was still able to, you know, proceed and do what I was doing. Now, am I upset at him? No. Accidents happen, things happen. Nobody's perfect. So, you know, he said sorry after the fact. I'm like, did you just,
Right.
you know, but everybody is not like me, you know, and humility is the best, you know, thing for that. It's just being humble. And I'm no bigger and no better than anybody else, and it is just a suit. And so it can be taken care of, it can be fixed, you know, without him having to pay for it. It's just what it is. It's a part of the job.
Okay. So you talked early on about some investments that your mom made for you, specifically, you know, subscribing to GQ, showing you that brand, being suave. Who are your 3 fashion icons, especially since you started young?
Man. Number 1, Jackie Kennedy.
Okay, Jackie O.
She was, that woman had the quintessential level of swag. You couldn't get no better than Jackie O. Now, you say, well, you're a man, how could you pick a woman? Because fashion is fashion, no matter whether it's male or female. I would probably say the next person would be on my list would probably be, oh wow, that's a good one. Is what's the soccer player? Is it Beckham?
David Beckham?
Beckham. Him and his wife.
Oh yeah,
They
Victoria.
won. That's a
She comes with
relationship.
it.
They won. You talking about that dude swaggy all the way down to his underwear. He just got swag. He kicks it. If he's dressed down, you seen, he's just sharp all the time. You know what I mean? His look, his beard, his haircut, everything about this dude. He might be an athlete, but his whole everything is that, you know. And then I would have to go back. And it would be, I really would love to say, it's probably Fred Astaire. You know, that dude was, oh, let me take that back. Fred Astaire is partially Steve McQueen.
Okay.
Steve McQueen, a lot of people have not seen Steve McQueen outside of acting. But if you think it's a game, Google it. For you millennials, you don't know who that is, Google it and Google him. Steve McQueen. And when you see how this dude dresses, and it was so many iconic people back then. I really don't want to just pick, but you told me three. I mean, Miles Davis. You see this dude off stage. From the cars, from Ferraris to Jaguars to Lamborghinis to Porsches. And we're talking about classic cars but when you look at the mock neck sweaters and you look at the drain pipe, we call skinny jeans and skinny slacks, they call them drain pipes at that time. This stuff is already just recreating itself again. This is nothing new. If you look at the style and cut of this suit, it's the same style of cut in 1960. It's nothing different. The only difference is I ain't got a flat top. You know, so all the way down to the shirts. Every shirt back then were what we call slim fit, but they were fitted to the person's body. You know, you don't have hang time in your shirts or your jackets. And so when you look at it, there's nothing new under the sun. So, I'm really partial to all of these guys because they were just amazing. You know, and even for example, I never went to a football game without wearing a suit. Never. Now, all my friends, they jeans, t-shirts, and, you know, whatever our alma mater, colors are, but that's not my thing. Mm-hmm. I dressed the way they used to dress in the 50s and the 60s. Everybody wore a suit. Everybody was wearing a coat, a quarter coat. Everybody was dressed to kill, especially African Americans. That's the funny thing about African American people. We couldn't afford to buy the clothes in the store, so we made them. And the funny thing is, the clothes that was in the store were made by African American people. So it might not have that name brand on it, but them clothes that you was wearing back then, they had the name on them, my grandmother made them.
That's deep.
It's just what it is. So, when you're getting into name brands and you start wearing things that, supposedly mean something, do it really mean something, you don't even own a home. You can't even barely pay your car note. But you got some red bottoms, okay, not good. I don't understand how a woman can wear $6,000 or a $36,000 purse and only got $60 in her bank account. Just saying.
Hey, he's still giving you that free game, y'all. You better appreciate it. And we talked about that earlier. We talked about the difference between looking good and then looking good to show out. Mm-hmm. There is a difference. What is your advice for young African American men? Especially, you said you lived everywhere from Pasadena to the jungles, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I've also been all over the world.
That too.
And so by being that, there's a message that young men need to understand. Number one, read. Education is the key. Read. There's an old saying that says is when you think life has robbed you, it's always an inside job. So don't let life rob you from being caught up with everything that's going on around you and you don't even know who self is. Find out who you are. And then you will find that you will like yourself more. A lot of people all the time when I'm speaking and I get off the stage and they say, man, I drove or I flew, all this way to see you. And then they say, I want to be just like you. I want to be a master barber like you. I want to be motivational. I said, look, hold on now. I don't want you to be like me. First of all, you don't know what I go through. You don't know what these hands got to deal with. You don't know what this mind has to go through. But the reality is, I don't want you to be like me because I don't want you to be a cheap copy of a priceless original. So the problem is I don't want people to copy me. Every single one of us are priceless. Every single one of us are different. Every single one of us are unique. Be you. Be you. Because anything that you do outside of you, you're just copying somebody else, and you don't do that well. You can't be me well. I'm the best me, and I do me well. If anything was to happen to me, people say, man, that dude did it his way. He enjoyed his life. But if you do it, they'd be like, oh, well, she was a good copy of DL, but she wasn't no DL. I want you to be you. And you can be a best representation of that. And for the youth of the young man, young African-American man, look, you got a lot to deal with. Okay? Everybody's not going to like you. Period, point blank. You have to be better than the rest. You have to do extraordinary things to get extraordinary bank accounts. Period, point blank. I don't care what field you're in. And if you think that you're going to be one of those people that you just going to get along, you're going to do just that. Get along and just get a check. Stop working for checks and start working for something that you're passionate in. Because when you stop working for checks, then guess what? You start finding money's going to come to you instead of elude you and run away from you. Stop trying to be something you're not. If you ain't no football star, then stop trying to be one. I would rather own the team than be the football player in the first place. But that's just me. They don't want to talk about that because that's not really fantasy. That's not really, they don't put that out there for us. Well, shoot, I want to be the person that's writing the check. I don't give a damn how much LeBron is making. Who wrote his check? That's the person I want to be. So what I'm saying is we're going to be businessmen. Let's be great businessmen. Let's be great businesswomen. And let's start going after what we want and let's start attracting. See, the thing is, the problem with a lot of us is that we have poorly chosen friends in our lives. And when we have poorly chosen friends in our lives, what ends up happening is those poorly chosen friends end up influencing us to be something else than what God gave us to be. So then when they're not happy with their life, see, misery loves company. So you trying to go to school, oh, you don't need to go to school, let's get high today. No, because you ain't enrolled in school. But I'm enrolled in school. And I'm spending this money. And I'm going to get charged for this whole president. We got to go charge me for this. So I got to make sure I get mine. Education. But we have to stop being distracted by our own friends. Some of us are going to have to divorce our own family members in order for us to succeed. Now, I can never do that when something's going to be wrong with you. Because your mama, not necessarily be your mama, but some of our mamas and some of our daddies are sincere about what they believe in. But just because they're sincere don't mean they're sincerely right. Because your mama might want you to be a nurse and you don't want to be no nurse. My mama might have wanted me to be something else. Thank God she was a barber and I wanted to be like my mama, so guess what? I'm a barber. I just took it to a whole nother level. I've done things that no other barber has ever done before. Being in China, having a school in China, now with less than 2.5 years, no black man can ever say that they've done what I've done. Because I opened up the first barber school in China's history. And within 2.5 years, we have over 71 barbershops. So see, I didn't have to be a football star to do that. I didn't have to put a basketball in a hoop to do that. I wanted to be a barber and I wanted to be good at that. And being good at a barber, this is what mastering is all about. It doesn't matter if you're cutting hair. It doesn't matter you putting hair on the floor. It doesn't matter if you're a valet. Whatever you do, master your skill.
Damn.
And as you master your skill, then you will be great at that. And so before I can move on to do something else, I had to master being a master barber. The beauty industry has come into a place where now nobody, especially your generation, doesn't hold anybody accountable for what they say. So everybody's a celebrity stylist, a celebrity barber, celebrity makeup artist. You made that up. You're a liar. See, because I was a true celebrity artist, and I never called myself that. I call myself a master barber. You're not going to see on any of my tags of celebrity this and celebrity that. It's because I'm a master barber. I'm good at what I do, and they hired me for what I do. Nobody can say they was doing Biggie and Pac at the same time. I'm the only one that holds that. Nobody. Me. Nobody can say that but me. I was doing Puff. I was doing High Five. I was doing Heavy D. Nobody else can say that. You know, so it's just a matter of how you want to move in this industry, right? Mm-hmm. And so for me, I just feel a certain kind of way when people, especially stylists and barbers and makeup artists, say that they're celebrity anything. Well, in my mind, if you're gonna call yourself a celebrity anything, I would think that you would be the celebrity, right? But I've never heard of a celebrity plumber. I never heard of a celebrity a roofer. So how did you make up this celebrity stylist? And if everybody on Instagram, everybody on Facebook, celebrity barber, celebrity artist, makeup artist, then if that is the case, then how many celebrities do we have in the United States or in the world? And you don't even have a passport. So if we're sitting up here and dealing with these things, we need to master our skills. We need to master whatever it is that we do and take pride in that. And if we can't take pride in that, then you need to go do something else. But I bet you, if you start focusing on what you really want to do in life, and you start mastering that, and you start studying that, and you start getting up in the morning, I mean, get your ass up in the morning and start doing what you ought to do. When you ought to do it, there'll come a day what you can do what you want to do when you want to do it. That's a term by Zig Ziglar. Your ought-to-dos. The ought-to-dos is what we don't want to do. And that's what this country has made us comfortable. See, you got to be uncomfortable to get comfortable. And that's when you become successful. Because the uncomfortable part about it is when you don't want to get up and work out. The uncomfortable part is when you don't want to go take the suit to the cleaners. The uncomfortable part is when you don't want to get up and get on that plane. Those are uncomfortable parts, but then people say, I want to be like you, but do you really when I got to be on time to everywhere I go? Because there's a crowd waiting on me. There's people paying me to speak in front of people. My business is hope. I'm in business to give hope. I'm in business to inspire. I'm in business to empower. That is my job. And I can't be missing no planes. I can't be like, oh, I wasn't feeling good, so I ain't going to show up when you got 7,000 people waiting on you.
Right, you ain't got the option.
So I'm just saying at this particular point, for black men, black women, I don't want to just include just black men and black women. Number one thing, start getting along with each other again. That's important to me, that we can get along with each other. You know, and the reason why I'm saying that is because it hurts me to see black men don't even respect our sisters no more. They don't. They don't care. I want to see black men, and I want you guys to look in this camera. I'm looking at this camera. I want you to look at me. And if you're not hearing anything that came from this, I want you to hear this right quick. Please. I want you to be men again. And the reason why I want you to be a man again is because too many men today are allowing women to take care of them instead of the men taking care of the woman. And that comes from mamas constantly babying y'all asses. Get that man off the nipple and start becoming a man again. That's what I want to see. I want to see these women stop. When these men that are now, a lot of them boys, are moving from their mama house to the girlfriend house, and the girlfriend become the mama. Now she telling him to empty the trash. And she cool with him driving her car. And she complaining all the time. We cannot complain about nothing. You chose that man. You chose that boy. And for the women, this is what I'm telling you. Please look at me at this. Take them damn contractor hats off and stop trying to build a man. If he's broken, let him be broke. Be equally yoked with the man that you with. If he don't have what you have, stop trying to work with a man that got potential. That's cool, but I'm 50. I can't be with no girl who's got potential. She better already be there. If she talking about she just starting school, we got a problem. I cannot be with her. Nope. No hate aside, but the bottom line is I'm already in the fast lane.
Right.
I can't be going in the slow lane and get somebody who's in the slow lane who possibly has potential.
Right.
I don't play with potential. You should already be where you at my age. Period. So all I'm saying to you guys, start dating people that's willing to lift you up, male and female. Start being with people who's willing to build you up, male or female. Start being with somebody who believes in your dream more than you believe in your dream, who gonna get your behind them, make you go do what you need to do because they believe in what you said that you wanted to do. I'm a man who I know that I can take care of a woman. The reality is, can a woman take care of me? So these are some things that, before we go, that I would like people to have to leave with, you know. And these are things that I believe in. I call it my top 10, right?
All right.
Number one, recognize that you need help. You got to recognize that. Everybody needs help, right? Number two, accept that you need help. A lot of times we don't accept the fact that we need help, okay? Three, admit that you don't know something. A lot of times we are hindered from growth because we won't admit that we don't know. You know, and a lot of times we run into brick walls because we follow people who don't know either, instead of asking somebody who knows. Number four, seek help from successful people. I don't want to be the smartest person in my crew. I always want to be with somebody who's much smarter than me, who can help me, that's already successful in that field, regardless of what field it is. Although I'm a barber, I'm also a businessman, I'm an entrepreneur. So therefore, because I own properties and all this, I need to be with somebody who knows real estate. I need to be with somebody who knows taxes. I need to have a lawyer on my team. I need to have a team around me in order for me to be successful. So I need to grab all of these people in order to protect me so I can become successful. Right. Number five, this is a big problem with men. Big problem. Big problem. Submit. You got to be willing to submit to business, to relationships, to anything that you want to do in life. You got to submit to it. And that goes for a woman too. Submit. You guys don't have a problem submitting to men until they mess you up and then you start defending yourself. But reality is we got to submit. The next one is commit. You got to be willing to commit to it. If you say, I'm going to do this, then do it. I'm committed to being successful. I'm committed to owning a home. I'm committed to building a better bank account. I'm committed to breaking that generational curse. I am committed to those things. Number 7, invest in your own education. You never stop learning. I'll tell anybody right now, the first book you need to read, All the Places You Go by Dr. Seuss. That's the first book anybody needs to read. From there, it should be The Richest Man in Babylon by George Gleason. From there, I think it should be The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. Number 8, accept your weaknesses. We are all weak in something, even a superhero. Superman got his kryptonite, I got my cars. Accept that you are weak in something, okay? Number 9, once you identify your weaknesses, identify your strengths. Magnify those strengths. You're strong in something. Magnify. Don't always be down on yourself. That's where depression comes from. You know, and that's where fear comes from. False evidence appearing real. That's what that means. God didn't give us that. You made that up. So don't be afraid to reach out. It's going to be uncomfortable starting out, but you're going to get through it. Number 10, this is my favorite out of all of them. Give more and expect nothing in return. Be a giver. Amen. Give more and expect nothing in return. Life is a challenge, meet it. Life is a gift, accept it. Life is sorrow, overcome it. Life is a tragedy, face it. Life is a game, play it. Life is a mystery, unfold it. Life is a song, sing it. Life is opportunity, take it. Life is a journey, fulfill it. Life is a struggle, fight it.
Hey.
That's it. These are just basic things for me that gets me through my day and through my life. And I want you, as a homework assignment, to yourself.
To you watching.
To you. And you can tell them.
All right. I'm gonna follow up.
But I'll look at the camera for all of y'all.
Okay.
Whatever you listen to in your first 20 minutes of your day in the morning dictates your day. So what that means is you don't need to be listening to no mess Don't be listening to no news when you first get up in the morning. Listen to something that's positive. If you don't want to hear nothing positive, then listen to some good music. And I ain't talking about no hip hop. That is not going to get your day right. You're going to be dealing with chaos listening to hip hop. Well, it just gets me up through the night. Okay, but look how your day goes. It's chaotic. I don't let anyone that's with me, hanging with me, sleep with me, whatever the case may be. In the morning, I don't even give her the opportunity to talk to me in 20 minutes of my day. So that means I got to get up before her and I lock myself in the bathroom for at least 20 minutes, whether it be taking a shower, but I'm listening to motivational speeches constantly. So by the time I get to her, I'm already prepared for my day. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing, nobody, what you're doing, what's going on. My first 20 minutes of the day belongs to me. But it should belong to you, and it should belong to you before you do anything. And take some time out to study some part of your day. And when you say you don't have the time, you make time for everything else. You make time for your boyfriend. You make time for that basketball game. You make time for football. You make time for shopping. Why not make time for yourself so you can become successful? That's it. I can drop the mic.
There you have it. Wise words from the suave and dapper DL
Master Barber.
DL Master Barber.
The Renaissance man.
Thank you for joining me. I'm Christina De La Fresh, and this is the Couture Life.
What's happening? This is DL Master Barber, man. I done snatched the mic, man, from Christina, man. De La Fresh. I'm going to tell you something right now. It's time for me to really pub this book up, man. This is Pocket Game, the art of saving without saving. Trying to get you to save money. 60 to 80% of all barbers and hairstylists retire pro is the reason because we do not save money. We have to learn how to save. If you want a legacy for your family, save your money. If you want to change your life, you got to start by saving your money. You want to buy a house, you got to save some money. I'm telling you right now, saving your money is a part of your financial future. So I'm going to tell you, regardless if your mama didn't teach you, if your school didn't teach you, you probably ditched that day anyway. But it don't really matter because at the end of the day, they didn't teach enough. So I'm going to tell you something right now. Buy my book, not because you have to. Buy it because it's the right thing to do. Why? Is because this is better than and I'm telling you right now, it's better than a cheeseburger.
Thank you for tuning in to TNE Inspire podcast. This week's episode was hosted by fashion reporter Couture Life with Christina De La Fresh. If you would like to dive in deeper with her conversation with DL the Master Barber, we would love for you to check out her show notes on this episode to see what she found to be the most impactful takeaways from her conversation. You can find these show notes at readtnemag.com. And if you want to continue to grow even more, subscribe to TNE Magazine using Christina's promo code DeLaFresh18. Not only do you get 30% off of TNE Magazine subscription, but you also get the opportunity to win DL's latest book, Credit Game, Easy Repair for Barbers and Stylists. Now, remember, guys, you can only get an opportunity to win this book when you use Christina's promo code, which is DeLaFresh18. Also, if you enjoyed this episode, please take a minute to go to iTunes and leave a review so you can help other minorities like yourself become inspired to build their own successful brand. So until next week, guys, remember, we are one land, one society, one as a people, united as one. TNE Inspire.